Okay, so hello and welcome to another lecture in this course where I will now exactly show you how to create your first own custom method in Java. In the last lecture, in the last two lectures, we already talked about, first of all, the structure of a Java normal method, and then we talked about what a method exactly is and what it does. So let's start. So we started out with strings, variables, and much more. And as you already learned, everything starts in a method, so in a main method, as you can see, so the public static void main method, but I always call it a method. So to use and create another method, we do not have to make it into this method. This is not allowed in Java. We have to go and make it out of the body. So as you already explained to you, a method always has a body. This was, I think, the very first lecture of creating your very first own Java program. So a method always has a body using those brackets right here. And to create another method, we just have to follow the same setup. So in the last lecture, already said, we talked about the structure. So let's start. So we have to put our method right here out of our main method and out of any other methods and in our public class body. So we're not able to do this outside of the body right here, because then Java is not able to read through our code or what we put down there. So let's start. So in this case, I will create another method. So as you already learned from the last lecture, there are two keywords, which is first public, and then the other one is private. So this is something about other classes, object-oriented programming, and much more. In this case, I will just use public for the basics, to show you the basics of Java methods. So then we're using void. So as you already also learned, there are ways to return values. For example, to replace the void with a data type like a string, integer, boolean, and much more, or even, just some custom things. But I will just return nothing because I just want to keep it basics for now, because could be a little bit confusing if you start out in Java. So we just make it as easy as possible. So let's continue. So we got public static void, and let's create a method. So first of all, let's go right here, and first we noted where we write system, then we write out print line, and then we said, for example, here hello world, something like this. So, and this was then our first own custom program. And what I want now to talk with you about this is I want to create this into the method. So what we do, we have no method which runs this basically. So let's do this. So we got public static void, let's call it say hello, and then leave it empty because we currently have no parameters. Which parameters are, we will learn in the next few or two lectures in this section. And then close it up with the body and open and close up the body of the method. So what we can do now, we can do the same thing as in our main method. So right here we can now write, for example, system out and then print line, and then for example let's write hello world, anything like this. So we can write anything into it. It's just like a normal main method. So everything what we learned about variables, data types, everything could now be used in a method of say hello, or in other methods we can create as many as we want. And what we can now do now, as you can see, so when I now write say hello to run a method, so say hello, as you can see, it recognizes the method, but it says non-static method say hello cannot be referenced from static content. So what does this mean? So we are not allowed to, as you can see, this is what I mean about talking the static keyword. So as you can see, this is public static void main, and then right here, and this is public void say hello, and we're only allowed to use static values or static methods and static values. So it's a little bit confusing. This is something about we will get when we get to multiple classes, operators, constructors, and object-oriented programming. But for now, just keep it simple as it is. So we will write public static void say hello. This is a necessary keyword if we want to use it in any static method, or if we want to use a static variable or something like this. But this, don't worry, we will still cover this in this course, but I want to keep it basic. So just keep it as it is. Okay, right now, as you can see, right now we have a method called public static void say hello system out print line hello world. So if I run this really quickly, we should successfully see a line of code or a line of output which should appear in our console, which would say hello world and then exclamation mark. And as you can see, hello world with the mark. So this is how exactly this works. So, and what we can now do is, what the cool thing at method is, for example, we have a program, like the method is called, I don't know, count apples, like we have a snake game. You maybe played as a kid, or even now a little snake game, for example, Google Snake. And you have to collect apples or any fruits, and you have a counter. And then you should, every time the snake picks up a, I don't know, fruit and apple, you want to refresh the countdown or the stats Yeah, so like I explained, you want to refresh the countdown, the statistics of your refresh. So you want to refresh the statistics of your game. So for example, say refresh apples is your method, and then you always want to refresh the apples at a little count bar. So you maybe a high score bar or something like this. And this is what we can do. So for example, if we want to run it right now, and then we want to, for example, write right here, system out, I don't know, just for an example, rest of code in this example. Do not just ignore this, and then right below here we'll write say hello. Then you will see we will successfully get hello world, rest of code, and then hello world again, because we're now able to run this method as much as we want. As you can see, hello world, rest of code, hello world. So we're now allowed to run this method anywhere we want, how we want, and how often we want, because we're now able to run this. And this is why it's very cool to use methods. So for example, like already explained with the snake game, you got a system which needs to be automatically run sometimes. You do not want to write the same code again and again and again and again. This is not like you want to have it. You just create one method which signalizes the structure of the task you want, and then you just run it when you want. For example, if you want to, also another example, you want to, in Java you want to get the date or the time of your current, of your local city or something like this, and then you want to format it to any other things or format any other text. Then you just create a method, say call it format, and then insert parameters like string word, and then you just say format it please, something like this. So hopefully this is a little bit understandable. So yeah, don't worry, we'll come to all those things with some games, some tests, static things, object-oriented programming. So what I'm showing you right now is a little bit advanced. So if you're new to coding, it should be confusing, but don't worry, we will get step by step through everything. So let me quickly show you another example. So let's write public static, so just keep the method, and let's say public static void say hello. So maybe you could recognize, as you can see, I'm now getting an error. So maybe you recognize in the last lecture where we talked about the structure of a method, I already showed you or explained to you that you are able to call, for example, 10 methods at the same name, but you cannot just make it the same. So what you have to do is you have to define different parameters, but this we will cover in the next few lectures. So please keep the method, and in this case call it another name. So give it another name. For example, you can call it hi, something like this, and then let's just call it hi, say hi, and then we will change in here with system, system, and then dot out, and then dot print line, and then we just write hello, oh no, let's say hi world, something like this, so you can see the difference, what I mean between this. And let's run before, so it doesn't matter if we run hi, say hi before, say hello before, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, just run it, so click on play, and then you will successfully see what I mean by this. So we will now have successfully printed out hello world, hi world and hello world, because we started first of all with the say hi method. Okay, so yeah, just before I end this lecture, I just want to show you one more example. So let's remove the say hi method, and right here, let's use some other things. So you're not just allowed or able to print things out in method. So what you can do, you can also use variables. So in this case, let's define a variable called number equals to 10, something like this. And then let's create a for loop. Or just only create a for loop. So just to know, you can also use variables. It's just like in the normal main class, in the main method we already used. You can literally do anything you want. You can use variables in the method, in a new method. You can use the while loop, the for loop. You can lists when we've covered them. You can use anything you want in the method, just so you know. So just for you know, just quickly write for int I equals to 0, I below, for example, 10. So we get the numbers from 0 to 9. And then just write system out print line, and then just I. So yeah, and then just run it, and you will successfully see I'll get the numbers, or we will get the numbers of 0 to 9, hopefully, as you will see right now. So as you can see, 0 to 9. And then we can also do the same, by going right here, +1, and then we just go both right here, start it again, and then you will successfully see what I mean by this. So you're able to use it as a normal main method, as you can see. So it goes from 9 to 10, and this is from 1 to 10 because we added 1. And then again with an example, for example, string word equals to melon, or yeah, just melon. If you can also use if statements, it doesn't matter what we use right here. It's the same as in a normal method we already learned, to melon. Then we can just do, I don't know, system out print line word, and then just else system out print line no word needed, anything like this. So we'll see that this is, let's change the word to name, something like here, and then just run it, and then you will successfully see what I mean by this. Yeah, just to show you the example, no word needed, and then let's put it back to melon, and then you will successfully see that it will print out the word melon, hopefully. Yes. Okay, so as you can see, everything what we did worked, just to recognize that you are able to use anything you want in your new methods, and yeah, just test around, create names, and then just let's continue in the next lecture. So yeah, hopefully this little lecture helped you a little bit more for understanding how to exactly use methods in Java programming, and I will see you in the next lecture where we'll continue working on how to exactly learn Java programming. So yeah, see you in the next lecture. Bye.